We will start with the presentation how to contribute projects to Drupal org. My name is Adrian Cid Almaguer, and this will be the first session. It's a session for beginners, people that are starting in the Drupal world. So here you have some of my links. My Drupal profile, one account in GitHub and Twitter. So I'm Drupaling for 6 years and 4 weeks. That's what Drupal site says.
Today?
Today, yes. I'm a member of the Drupal Association. If you don't know what is the Drupal Association, this is the association that helped to build Drupal and that made possible events like this. There is a link at the bottom for the contribute module. If you want to check it, there is a lot of information about the Drupal Association. Well, as I said, you will suffer 45 minutes in this session and 45 minutes in the other session of my bad English. Maybe in French will be better and Spanish will be great, but don't worry, I put many texts in the presentation and I will do my best to explain each point. Como les decía, seguramente en español todos iban a entender la presentación. Okay. Some concepts before start. Contribute. To give money to a common supply fund or as a charitable purpose. Example, can you contribute to buy my ticket for the DrupalCamp? You will contribute or no?
No, sorry.
Okay, but but sure you can contribute to Drupal.
Yes.
Okay, we will start. We will talk about how to create Drupal projects, how to work with the Drupal issue queue. This will be the main item in this session, and some simple tasks for your first Drupal contribution, and what you need to put in the project page. Okay. How to contribute projects through Drupal? That's easy. If you go to the Drupal official site, they say that you have to follow 5 steps to do this. Just go to visit the create page for the projects, fill out the form, enter the project short name, click the save button, and click the version control to start committing your code. So that's all for you. Okay, there is a more that you will see that we need to do more than this to really contribute to Drupal. So before I start, are you sure you want to see this presentation? Here you have the learning curve for popular CMS. Usually the people say that this one is for Drupal. So, some spoilers. And we will start. Just remember that this guy died at the end of the film. Okay. First step. You go to the create project page, you will see that you can create many different projects for Drupal. but we will talk mainly for the module project. And we will show some code, but mainly for Drupal 8, even if some of these presentation ideas you can use it in Drupal 7. Fill out the form. So in the project tab, you can choose for full project. As this will be a new module, we think that you will maintain this module actively. So you can choose your status, and the development status should be under active development. So we will start to create our module. Then click the Save button. But before creating a new full project, you need to consider to see if there is another project that are similar to the project that you will create, because Drupal promotes collaboration rather than competition. So if there is another module that made what you want to make with your module, it's better if you contribute to the other module. So join force always in the Drupal community. And then you will go to the version control tab here, and you will have all the instructions to start contributing to your module. Okay, now that we have a Drupal project, we can start having fun. This will be our battlefield when we are contributing to Drupal, the issue queue. You will see that there are many things that maybe you don't know about how to contribute to Drupal project. All the important things will happen in the issue queue. Well, once you create your first your Drupal, usually the issue queue is enabled by default. But if not, in the project page, you go down at the bottom, you will see that this checkbox that you can enable or disable in every time your issue queue. In the project page, you will see this block that will be at the right. And you will find the information related to the issue queue, the open issue, how many issues you have, if you work with your issue, how many bugs you have in your project. Usually I put this information at the bottom of each project page. How do you need to know, or how you need to put in your issue to describe a feature request, to if you want to report a bug, if you want to create a task. This information is very important to allow the maintainer know how to solve the problem, or how to create a new feature in the module. So pay attention to the guideline. Have you read this text anytime? The blue one at the top? Never? True? This is important because this is the first text that we see in the page when we go to create a new issue. In this text, you will know how to create your issue and what you need to put inside your issue. If you go to read the issue summary template, you will find all the information that you can put inside your issue, and this will help a lot to the maintainer to fix the problem or create a new functionality. Even if Drupal put this information, I always put another block of text, say as an alert to the user saying, okay, please use the issue summary template. If you don't know how to create an issue, you can start seeing this video, getting started in the issue queue. And if you go to provide a patch, please follow this standard. This is the naming convention for patch that Drupal use in the project. If you go to create an issue in the web form module, you will see that the web form module maintainer have another different message. When you go to the page, this message is taking all the whole page. It's just to say you, please read this before start, because if you don't describe well your problem, I can help you. Remember that usually we maintain projects in our free time, so please help us in this task. A well-described issue helps a lot.
So, can I ask some question?
Yes.
If we, like, I know how to create issues, maybe it's really hard for people sometimes to formalize the issue. So, is it possible to have a template? Like in GitHub, when you open an issue,
yes,
you have the template.
We will see this in a few minutes.
So,
In Drupal we have tools to help us in 80 or 90% of our tasks. It's just that the people don't know these tools, but we will talk about these tools. But no problem, you can raise your hand. Okay. If you get the point, let's create our first issue. This is a real issue in the only one project. But I don't know why, but okay. This is an issue. If you see here, we have some problem. You remember that we have in the project 2 blocks. Say, please, before create your issue, read the step that you need to follow, but people don't read the message. We have 2 links to the issue summary template, but I asked the question before, have you read the message with the blue background anytime? Many people don't read this message. Okay, we need to organize our job. It's free, but take our time. Sometimes issues like this is too hard to find how to follow the steps to find the problem. This is an issue for a bug. It's hard to follow it. Sometimes you lose 1 hour, 2 hours trying to reproduce an issue, and you can find how. So usually when I have an issue like this, I have a template to inform the user, hi, send for reporting, will be ready the next time. You use the issue summary template for report and issue. I will check now. But we have problem in the Drupal community. I'm a problem in the Drupal community. So for me, it's very hard to communicate in English, and for other people, it's hard too. Even if it's hard for for us to communicate in English, we need to do it because this is the language that use the Drupal community to create the projects. So I am a good example of this. I'm trying to talk here. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but we are here. But we have tools like Google Translate. We can use it. Then the first time that I see this message, I take the message, I put it in Google Translate to see if I can read the message, because even if in English it's a little hard for me sometimes. So since Google Translate, without you, this presentation was not possible. I recommend you, if you have problem with English, the Grammarly site, it have a plugin that you can install in your browsers and will help you with the typos, with the grammar. It works with Firefox and Chrome and have a free plan that you can use. As I say, I spent in this issue 30 minutes trying to reproduce the issue, but I never found the steps. So I wrote a message for the people that create the issue. But if the person use the issue summary template, he will find this in the first line. In the problem motivation, it says why the issue was filled step to reproduce the problem. So this is the first line that you need to write in the issue. How to reproduce, if you're reporting a bug, how to reproduce the issue. Because if you don't put this, sometimes it's very hard to find the correct way. Be polite with the Drupal community. There are many people like me that don't know how to write or how to speak in English, but they want to contribute. And sometimes they want to contribute, but they don't know how to do it. But we need to educate the people on how to contribute to Drupal in the correct way. And remember the Yoda words. The four must be filled. The four you must feel in you, her, my Padawan. The dark side, it should not take. So don't go to the dark side. How a correct issue should look like. Something like this. You have the problem or motivation for the issue. You have the step to reproduce. You have maybe the person that wrote the issue have the solution in mind. Maybe not, but other users can edit the issue and add what they think about how to find the solution for the issue. And you have remaining tasks. Some people think that this only happens in core, Drupal core, but it's not like this. There are many projects that use the issue summary template to write the issues. Well, I don't know if you see the blue button, but it's a clone issue. It's a tool that we will be soon. Okay, fight like a Jedi in the issue queue with DrEditor. This is an extension for Drupal's official site that enhance user experience and functionality. Do you know this tool, or have you used it before? No? Or are you losing your time in the issue queue? Features, template insertion. You don't need to write all the template, all the many of these texts. You can use it from this tool. Patch reviewer, auto completion, image attachment embedder. Usually people say, this really exists. Yes, it exists. No more dark age in the issue queue with this tool. And no more excuse to review a patch, and no more excuse to contribute, and no more excuse to use the issue summary template. When you install the extension, it works for Chrome and Firefox. You will see these two buttons. If you use the insert template button, you will see that the tool inserts these text in the issue. How can I say in the issue summary text field. This is the issue summary template. Some animation.
Do you know who created that DrEditor?
How to create?
Who created?
No, but
Because it's a cool
here.
tool.
It's the guys from the community.
You have-
I don't remember his name.
I don't know. But here you have the link.
All right. Just if I can ask, so it's really cool, but from my point of view, the easiest is to have different fields. Why didn't we have like one field for how to describe the issue, one field how to reproduce with steps? It would be much easier.
I think that the code is in GitHub, so you can modify the project. And the other button, insert task, with the text is too long. The insert template for tasks that you need to accomplish in the issue. If you don't have this tool and you try to review a patch from the Drupal site, you will see something like this. It's too hard to find what you have modified and where you have modified the code, but if you use the tool, it's very different. You will see in green the new lines, in red the line that the patch will delete. You have here all the file that the patch will modify. If you click in the file names, you will go automatically to the line where the file starts. You can hide the deletions. There is another interesting functionality that comes with the tool. You have a button that will send the patch to the simple text me site. Have you heard before this site? No? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
It's just to know if we need to explain or not. Okay. Here's Yoda again. If you don't know this site, are you kidding me, boy? No. This site helps you to test a module. Here, there is the name of the module. No revision delete. We have here in the patch the name too, following the Drupal standard for the patch name. The Drupal version, the module version that we want to install. If you need to add additional project, there is a button here. You can add Devel, web forms, admin toolbar, other module. And here is your patch. So this site will install this module with these other modules, will apply the patch, and you will be able to test the patch in a fresh Drupal installation. There is another functionality. You can select many, one, two, or many lines in the patch, and you will see a text field like this, where you can write some comments about the patch lines. And then, if you save and continue in the issue queue, you will see the message here. Here you don't see, but this is gray color for the patch code, and your comment is here. So it's a nice tool to review patch in the issue queue. So review patch was never so easy with this tool. If you don't know it, it's time to install it. Usually, before I use this tool, all the time that I need to write a username, I need to go to see the username, copy the name, paste the name, click, copy the comment link, insert the comment link. You don't need this with this tool. You have some HTML tags that the tool will help you to autocomplete. The usernames, if you use I don't know how to say this sign in English. Arrobas. Oui, en français, arrobas. What? If you put this sign and the username, and you press tab, you will have a link to the user, and you will and the tool will autocomplete the username. It's the same for the comment. Just you will put this sign and the comment number, hit tab, and you will have a link for the comment. And for the issues, you have this pattern. If you don't know how this made, if you put this with the issue number inside, when you save the page, you will have a link to the issue with a color representing the issue status. If it's fixed, will be green. If it's need to work, will be red. If you have an issue with the status, patch need to be ported, something like this, will be gray. And the last functionality is for image. When you load an image, you have a button that says embed. If you click the button, you will have the image in the issue summary. so you don't have to left right click, copy link image, use this button insert the URL. This will help you a lot also. So with this weapon, we will start to contribute to Drupal. Let's see some simple tasks for your first contributions. Okay. If you want to have a module in Drupal 8, you just need to create the info file. So we will start with the info file. This is an issue. Usually, the issue for your info file will look like this. What do we need to create an issue? We need the title, the category, task, book report, feature request or support request, the priority, the status, version, component, who will fix the issue, who are working in the issue. This is important because sometimes in a project where you have many contributors or there are many people that want to fix a bug, it's important to know if the issue have one person working trying to solve the problem. And you have issue tasks. Issue tasks. If your issue is simple like this, you can add novice, and other people that start contributing to Drupal will filter by this task, and they will be able to start contributing with issues like this, simple issues. Always is useful to put in your issue links or reference that will help to solve the problem. In this case, this is a link to the page where you will know how to define the info file. An info file looks like this. You have two examples in this case, one for the Asana project and other for the admin toolbar extra tool project. Okay. Many people say that in Drupal you have a module for doing whatever, but how the module works. This is a problem. Sometimes I find a module, and when I try to use the module, there is no documentation about how to use it. You need to start studying. You need to start reading the code to imagine how the module works. So this is an important issue too. The README file. Each project must have an README file, but for the README file, we have a README template. This template says what you need to put inside the file, because sometimes you write some things inside the README file, but what you write don't help to the user to know how the module should work. And another issue related with the README file is the help page for the project. In this case, we have one issue for create the help page. We have one standard for the help page. Okay. This is how a README file will look like. We have this format. We have introduction, requirement, installation, all the steps that you need to follow to install the module. Because sometimes you have modules like this that need external libraries to work, but this library, you need to install the libraries using the correct way. And here we have two examples of hook help implementation for two different projects, and we have one template for the help for the help text in the project help page. Have you heard about Composer before? If you're working with Drupal 8, you need to know what is Composer. Even if you don't need the Composer JSON file in your project, it's important to create one, because this will help another project that maybe will get your module. It will help in the module installation. So this is another issue that we can have in our project. Here we have one example. There is another issue that we need to inform the user what we need, what we do within the project, what the tasks we will include in the next release. This is the record change. Usually, people think that using the Git log, you will see all this information that will be helpful for you, but Drupal have one template for these two that we need to use if we want to create a good Drupal change log file. Here we have an issue for the change log file. And here we have one example.
Just a question.
Yes.
You can generate this change log file or not? Or maybe I just.
This is?
Yeah.
No,
because you know which issue you have commented, and do you have a tool where you generate this file, or it's?
Yes.
Okay.
I auto-generate this file. I will show how.
Okay.
When I start contributing to Drupal, I create manually this file, but I found a tool that create this file.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a tool to create this file. There is a project named Git Release Node for Drush. This project will provide you with different Drush commands that you will use to create this file. This is the project page. You can use Drush Release Node, the first version tag and the last version tag, because you can generate the file for one version, two versions, or the project. this is a joke for Drupal. If you have info file, you have a module. This is the only file that you need for your module. Okay. Now that we have a module, we need to create the project page. The project page at least should have these sections. I never write before restriction or dependencies, but maybe you can have it in your project. In the first synopsis, we have an example here for the modulus way. You need to inform what your module will do and how to use your module. At least with this, the user will know how to use the module and if this is the module that they are that they need for the project that they are doing. And when you create a project page, you can take the same text and use it for the implementation of the hook help. So this is the module help page, and this is the project page. It's the same information, but using another template. Requirements. Maybe your module have some requirements, so it's important to put this information in the module project page. At the same time, this is information that you will write in your README file. So it's not too hard, it's just know where you can use the text in the project. This is another important section. Some module that you recommend to use with your module. This is for the node revision delete. Here we have 3 modules that will add more functionality to your module if they are installed. And here there is a description that say what this module add to your module. So this is important to inform to the users. And again, this information, you can use it in your README file. There is another section, no problems. Usually they are problems that you know that your module have when you made a release. This is not problem for the development version. They are problem for versions that are released and need to be solved. Where you found this information? But in the project issue queue, the category bug report, you will have this information. You will take the information from the issue queue and you will write it in the module project page. Similar project and how they are different. This is hard to write because you need to study this. You need to study the modules that are similar to your project. You need to find the difference and inform the user how your module is different from the other modules. But this is important because this will help the user to choose between one or another module. This is the section for the node revision delete project. How to find this? Okay. You go to the Drupal search page and just write, in this case, node revision delete. You will have many results and you will start to read to see if you found. When I start creating this slide, I found another module that made node revision deletion, but I never heard before. So this is a task that will take a lot of time. For the revision, in Drupal, for node revision deletion, we have many modules, but we don't need, in this case, I write 5 modules because they are the 5 modules that I found when I start to do the migration of the node revision delete module. So in Drupal 7 we have 5 modules for delete the node revision, but we really don't need 5 modules in Drupal 8. We only need 1 module with all the, I can say, the main or the most important functionality from the other module. So in this case, what we do, we create, we study all the modules that made the deletion of revision. We take the most important part, and we add it in the node revision delete module, and we put this text in the other module saying the user, please use this module that will be the new module for Drupal 8. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. So this is another example of don't duplicate your effort, just concentrate the force. This is the example, the number of issue, commits, and release, because when we start to study the code for the other module, we found errors, we found things that don't follow the standard, so we fix all this problem. We made release for the other project, and we start working in the node revision delete project. And here the results. Okay. I invite you to review the node revision delete project page, and you will see a page with many information that will help you to build your Drupal project page. The results. This is in the edit form for the project page at the bottom. You will see this results, links for the project documentation, for the demo. For the demo, we use the simple test me site. Link for the change logs, and in the project documentation, the documentation guide for your project. We will see in the other session how to create this page. Are you still awake? Well, thanks for your attention in this first session. Sorry again for my English. If you want next, we'll do it in French or Spanish. Okay. If you have some question for this first part, this is the time. No question? Bad presentation. If you don't want to remain the dark side, just continue with us to the second part.